Wow. Wow, here we go. Here we go. Tell me, now this is jazz that you
Well, it's more my interpretation. I wouldn't say it's jazz.
Mhm.
It's like music with a jazz feel.
Okay, okay.
Because jazz can be very, very complex and complicated.
All right.
Sometimes when people have a tendency to, unless you're really into it,
Okay.
you kind of like click and you're going to change the channel.
Sure,
That's
sure, sure.
too difficult for me to be.
Right, right. It's deep. It's real.
Yeah. So you kind of keep it a little simple.
Mhm.
I can get deep at times, but, I keep it simple.
So now, what do you call the style?
That's interesting. Jaspel?
Jaspel.
Yeah. Jazz and gospel.
Oh, jazz and gospel.
Right.
So you call it Jaspel.
Jaspel.
Jaspel. All right, Jaspel. Now, do you play at many churches and things of that nature? Have you?
Yes, I do play for First Baptist of Lincoln Garden.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All
In
right.
187.
Mhm.
I played in Gethsemane Baptist Church in Newark,
Mhm.
New Jersey. And also I played for a church that a friend of mine, a pastor friend of mine, Brother Alex Britt, he said that he had a program here for a minute.
Okay.
And Church of the Living Water in Newark on Hawthorne Avenue.
Church of Living Water. Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard of Church of.
Yes, very, very dynamic individual. And y'all be hearing about him quite soon, really, hearing about him.
So we're gonna get back to you doing a solo again, for another solo, but explain to us how this industry work. All right, you got your own CDs out.
Mhm.
All right, are you your own manager now, or do you have a manager?
Well, at this point, I do, and she was supposed to be here,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't get here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I know why she didn't make it. She
Okay.
she explained to me before she
Okay.
got here. Trust me.
Okay. And I actually just now, I play for so many people, it's ridiculous, but I've just now begun to get into it for myself,
Okay.
and do it for me.
Yes.
Because, when God's given you something to do, you can ignore it for so long. And I've been ignoring it,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get busy with other people's stuff,
Right.
other things,
Right.
until the Father, he just kind of like really presses in on you to really, get it done.
He bring you into your own.
Yeah, get it done. But there's certain things you have to do, actually get lined up to get it done.
Now, what do you do for practice and everything? Because you have to, outside of entertaining us, you have to go somewhere, and
Well,
you got to.
At home, I practice, practice. I don't practice as much as I need to.
Sure.
Actually, I'm just now actually getting into really practicing because there's some things coming up on the horizon that I really need to be prepared for. So it's essential that I be, aware of some different techniques.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, that's good. We're just going to not even listen to that bell. You know what I mean? Can you give us another solo if you can?
Sure. I'm gonna give something, maybe something everybody knows.
Okay. Let's have the horn. We're gonna do another solo. Amen. Amen. I noticed that this is a saxophone. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a soprano
It's
saxophone.
a soprano.
Yeah.
Because I grew up not in jazz. Mainly, my jazz came through Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
With Maurice White and the whole group behind him. And Andrew Wilfolk had a saxophone like that. Right. And I didn't understand it for years that this guy had a straight, saxophone, and he was just blowing and everything, And I wish I had a clip here. Next time we have clips of some of the old bands. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he was blowing that thing, and I didn't realize till years later that it was a saxophone.
Yeah.
So now, explain the difference between that sax and the
others.
I guess the.
Well, they're it's like the voices. They're extensions of voices.
Okay.
There's soprano saxophone, just like a soprano voice.
Okay.
There's alto saxophone, just like alto vocal.
Now there's a saxophone for alto.
Yes.
Okay. And now, what shape is that?
It's curved. That's curved. Actually, this soprano can come curved as well.
Oh, it can.
But this is the option. The other option, you can have it straight.
Okay.
But you can buy a soprano saxophone curved like you normally would see a saxophone.
Okay.
Curved.
Okay. But it's still
It's
soprano.
still a soprano.
Oh, okay. Now, so when do you know that you are soprano saxophone player? When do you know? Because you see, I always wish I could. Often say that if I could sing and entertain, you understand me? If I could sing and entertain, I would just bring $1 million and donate it to Harvest Radio, because I know I would have me $1 million. I would sing everywhere, every state in the union, at every function, marriage, burial. I would show up because I got something that I can reach the world, which I can't reach the world necessarily through my voice and talking all the time, because sometimes I say things that people might not like. But one thing I know about music, people love me. I don't care what language or what country you're in. I go back to a story. I picked up a young lady, a Latin young lady from the airport, a friend of mine, a wife. And I thought because she didn't speak English, that if I sang, she didn't know,
Right.
This is going back early 80s. And as I was coasting up 78, bringing her down, and I started singing, and she said, God, you can't sing. She got it out. I said, whoa. I said, I didn't think you would even know. So, you have something.
Well, it's deep because a lot of times, as you stated earlier, people don't want to hear what you have to say.
No. But
if you can relate to them musically,
yes,
then it bypasses the verbal
yes.
verbiage. It transcends words.
Yes.
So, and that's the gift. It's a blessing to be able to do something that transcends speaking.
Yes.
Verbiage. So I know that God has gifted me with something unique, and as you stated earlier, the difference between this, and it's not really knowing if you can play it, is if you just pick it up and do it. You just do it. Either you do it or you don't.
But then there's a mechanical.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then there's
the mental, the knowledge.
Right.
You seek the knowledge. You go after the knowledge, but like you said, the practice, or the shedding as we call it, you got to practice. You got to pick up the horn, and you got to get some instruction.
Sure.
You get some books.
Sure.
Some paraphernalia, and you keep it moving. You just, okay, here's the E and D and F and A flat, and after you learn what those fingerings are, you just keep it moving. Then there's breath techniques, breathing techniques.
Sure.
You get those down, and you kind of work and shed, and after a while, because you got friends, you play for them.
Sure.
They let you know, okay, you got it, or you don't.
But it's something. But it still rides on everything. Borderline something. Everything does, and it borderlines your interests. Like,
absolutely.
Like I would like to play the sax, but am I interested enough to do as I'm doing here,
exactly.
Trying to bring the world together through love and talk? Right. You understand what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
And political things and that nature. Right. Church, what's happening now? We out here trying to do what we can. But the idea is that to have that interest and then be able to deliver
Exactly. Well, you know, the story of how I started to play the horn. My father is an apostle, and he loved to play the saxophone, but
Wow.
he couldn't. He could not put the time in.
Right.
So I believe I was about 15 when I was about 15 years old in Newport News, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Here, see what you can do with this, because I don't have the time to practice." He just said, "See what you can do with it."
And how old were you at the time?
15.
Wow.
So, and I just took it from there. And at that time, I did not know what I was doing, of course. I just got the basic fingerings, you know, the B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C sharp, and that was it. He said, "Here, now go ahead." And I, you know, parlayed that into what's going on today.
And you've been playing ever since?
Ever since. Ever since.
Wow. So there's a great interest, and then your father, basically. So what was his response after he found out that you learned the sax? Now, what sax did he hand you?
Alto saxophone.
The alto.
Alto. I learned it on the alto. There was a tenor. I played tenor for a while. But I used to mess around with the baritone because that's a soprano. There's the alto. There's the tenor. There's the baritone. And believe it or not, there's a bass saxophone.
Bass.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's very large and very cumbersome. So
It's a big
you
sax.
got to get up. Even a tall person got to get up in a chair and play because it's very long.
So I would probably thought it was a tuba or something like that if I see it.
Not really.
It's
It's
not.
just very, very long and very. Cause
Yeah, is it streamlined?
streamlined,
And
very
then
dense,
yes,
it
I've
touches
seen
the
that
floor,
instrument,
and
and
it comes up and it's very, you know, very large, very cumbersome.
that's the bass.
That's a bass saxophone. Most people don't play the bass saxophone. It's not really played very often. But
So how do you get the bass if you don't play the bass
how
saxophone?
you get it? You just go get it.
Then, in other words, what I mean is like if there's a group and there's something going on,
Mhm.
and you need that bass.
Well, not ordinarily you won't need the bass saxophone.
Okay,
The baritone will cover
we'll cover.
everything that you need as
Okay.
far as that, you know. And most people now, because the bass clarinet is kind of popular right about now, most people go play that instead of the baritone right about now, because there's an artist named Marcus Miller, bass player, who plays the bass clarinet quite well, and I think he's making it popular again to play the bass clarinet.
So now, all right, then that means you can play a clarinet also.
Yes. It's
Wow.
different fingerings from the saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
But once you learn the fingerings, it's quite simple in the technique. It's the same thing. Armature is similar to the saxophone. It's a woodwind instrument, just like the saxophone is.
Oh, okay. Now, when if you remember, Spike Lee made the movie years ago, Mo Better Blues.
Yes.
And I'm sure that remember
Yeah.
Denzel.
Denzel.
Now, he was playing the trumpet. Is that correct? Or
Trumpet.
he was playing the trumpet. Oh, okay. That's
That's a
right.
trumpet.
Yeah, so totally different instrument, more louder.
It's a brass instrument.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a woodwind. Saxophone is a woodwind that has a reed, and without the reed, it can't be played.
Now,
It's
what
a
is the
mouthpiece.
reed there?
It's a plastic, not a plastic, but a wooden stick or cane, a piece of cane that is carved and shaped flat at the tip and at the front, so it can actually vibrate onto the mouthpiece.
Oh, okay.
See that? See how the opening is very small and the reed comes to the tip. And what happens is as you blow into it, the reed vibrates so that
Oh.
the sound, that's what makes the sound,
Wow.
the vibration of the reed.
So let me ask you, what is the history of the sax?
Oh, we don't have time to do that. We don't have time for that. But saxophone has been around for a while. It's been around a long time. I can't really get into the full history of it. I actually need to brush up on it because there is a history behind it, and there is a gentleman who created the saxophone. His name was Sax. That's what his last name
Wow,
is. Sax.
his name was Sax.
Yeah, so his name is Sax. That's why they get the name saxophone.
Oh, okay.
So the saxophone is named for, I don't remember this guy's name. But
And
it's-
was it here in this country or was it in another
no,
country?
it was another country.
Okay,
It was
okay.
not, the saxophone was not invented.
And he created the saxophone.
Right.
And that's why they named it that
Yes,
right there.
yes.
So all over the world, it's still named as known as the
The
saxophone.
saxophone. It is a like a basic thing. This is the saxophone, the trumpet, clarinet, harmonica, violin. Instrument is the same instrument no matter where you go. It's the same instrument.
Hmm.
So it won't change because you in London
Right.
or Germany. It becomes something else. It's the
Okay.
same
Okay.
thing.
Same machine.
Yeah, same. Yes.
Well, same instrument. And let me ask you: are you able to make profit from your journey?
Absolutely. In fact, this is how I live. I don't have another. You know, if it's a necessity for me to go and get a job, I
Sure.
will. But this is how I live. I haven't worked in about 10 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Off the sax.
That's right. If God blesses you, and God has blessed me, and I owe it all to Him, to be able to go and play, and people, say, okay, you're good enough, you're blessed enough for me to give you
Yes.
money for
Yes,
what you've
yes.
just done.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's,
That is a blessing.
yes,
Yeah.
it is. Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
God, Jesus,
Yes,
yes.
it is.
Well, I tell you, I wish I could blow something. You know, I wish I could blow a horn myself. Bob, I'll be out there on the corner right now. I'll be at somebody wetting. I'd have been. Well, I went to inauguration. You know, I would have went down there with the horn somewhere and tried to hymn one of them songs together or something. Boy. That is. It's a blessing, and so many people that's blessed with instruments. I have a friend, Charlotte Jackson. She plays piano. Organ in church. First Church of God in Christ in Hillside, New Jersey, and we talked about training, where she could actually work on practicing, and
techniques.
Techniques and things, and she's good. And I often tell her, I say, if I was blessed with something like that, you know what I mean, I'm gonna take it all away. Because when you are blessed with instruments and you can use those instruments or sing or whatever, you're a blessing. You know what I mean? Everybody needs a song. I don't care whether the economy is up or down, whatever.